I didn't see you there. I'm just doing some light reading. I'm somewhat of an intellectual. What's that? What am I reading? Well, it's the Bionicle comics, of course, and not just some pages put together to make it look like I'm reading. That would be ridiculous. No, it's, of course, the Bionicle comics. Did you know that you can read? That was loud. That was dumb. Did you know that you can read the Bionicle comics for free on the internet? There's so much to these stories. Drama, sex, drugs, neither of the last two things. God, I wish there were a way for me to get into the world. I want to meet the Toa. I want to be the Toa. Well, wouldn't you know it, there's 2 games on the PS2 that let you do just that, Bionicle and Bionicle Heroes. Let's talk about Bionicle... Shit. Ooh. Let's talk about Bionicle Heroes first. Made by Traveler's Tales Games, who, as you may remember, also made the LEGO games, Bionicle Heroes is a third-person shooter that is very much a Traveler's Tales game. Collectibles, bits, or in this case, Bionicle bones? Not sure. And, constructions? Yeah, okay, sure. Well, that's the game. There's not much here. The gameplay is sparse. Each group of levels is a collection of the same 4 levels, and each of those levels is pretty much the same. Walk down a tunnely path with some minor offshoots for bonus content, and then get your gold Bionicle powers, construct a gold thing using your gold Bionicle powers, and then at the end, fight a boss by killing enemies and getting gold Bionicle powers, and constructing a thing that fights the boss. Did you get that? Wash, repeat. Just get the gold Bionicle powers. And you win. Almost every single boss fight is like this, and there's next to no variation. Oh, God, it's so boring. The only different boss is the last boss, and you just gotta attack the weak spots. So let's do that real quick. Yeah, that's a weak spot, I guess. This repetition is even worse when you take into account how awful it feels to do anything. The game controls terribly. Worse than most games of the era. There's an autolock that's way too powerful, and the camera controls are an affront to, I don't know, some sort of Bionicle god, if they even have one, heathens. You barely, if ever, need to use the right stick to control the camera. That's right, this third-person shooter only needs one stick. One to move, and also the same one to aim. It was a choice. And the soundtrack is forgettable. There's one fun track, but it's mostly overtaken by all the sound effects in the game. Man, hoo boy, is it some sound effects. You are constantly surrounded by the most horrendous sounds. Oh, if this is how it sounds to be in the Bionicle world, please take me out. I wicked don't want to be there. Well, it's fine, you know. This is a game for kids. It doesn't need extremely complicated gameplay. What matters is the story. Too bad there's no story. You'd think that when you start a new game, you'd get a cutscene to get you invested in the story. Well, it's a shame that the only exposition you get is when you boot up the game. Now, don't get it twisted, there are cutscenes. Let's watch one. Well, yeah, it's funny, dude. He catch a bug and his leg fall off. Woo! Oh, my guts. Laughing. I'm laughing too hard, and so my guts hurt. Can you tell? Fuck. This game sucks. There's no other story in any of the cutscenes. It's just body part fall off. Not even after you beat the game. Here, watch it, but spoilers, I guess. I don't know. If you're gonna play this, don't watch this, but I'm not actually spoiling it. There's nothing. You'll see. Now I can hear what you're saying. KRUNCHO. The other LEGO games are just slapstick comedy too. Blah. And you're right, they are mostly slapstick, but there's a major difference in why something like LEGO Star Wars works and this doesn't. The difference is that, generally, everyone playing a Star Wars LEGO game knows who Darth Vader is. We know who Palpatine is. We know how these characters behave in their world, and so part of the comedy is seeing these characters recontextualized to be in a slapstick world. We don't need characterization when we already know who these characters are. This, I'm assuming, is not the same for Bionicle Heroes. Unless you've read the comics, this game would most likely be the avenue in which the toys from the line gain their characterization. This is where you could see them animated and act in their world. But Traveler's Tales instead falls back on their body part fall-off comedy instead of putting effort into fleshing them out. God, it is so frustrating. This could have been so cool. And listen, it's a kid's game, I know. I'm not looking for Game of Thrones or Breaking Bad level characterization here, but give me something. You've got 11 comics to draw on for your game. 11 comics have already built story. You can just put that in there, but you don't. Why? Traveler's Tales, why? The other Lego games have them in there. Why not here? Why not here? It's so disappointing. God, it's awful. Thankfully, we have another game. Bionicle. Don't worry about this. I couldn't get the stickers off, okay? Don't be mean to me. Don't be mean in the comments. Or be mean to me. Hey, be mean to me in the comment section below about how... Do you have advice to get stickers off my game? Put it in the comments. Like and subscribe. Bionicle. This is essentially the Mask of Light film in game form. Before we get to the story, let's talk gameplay. Each level is only occupied by one Toa, which makes it feel way more focused than Heroes. Some have special powers like gliding or swimming that you'll need to use to reach the end goal, which is usually a boss at the end of the level. The rest of the gameplay is a little samey, which is a bit disappointing, but each of the Toa control differently enough that it feels at least somewhat fresh. Great news here, there are actually some different bosses. And some levels don't even have bosses, they're race levels. Some variation. Some Toa you play as their original form, and some as their Nuva forms. Well, is this one fun to play? Yeah, it's fine. The lack of a lot of variation leaves it feeling kind of shallow, but it's short, and the slight variation between the levels makes it feel different enough as to not be a slog. I mean, some of it can be frustrating. It's not a very well-built game, but the most frustrating part is just the fire racing level. And don't get me wrong, it's frustrating. But once you finally get it, that's pretty much it for the rest of the game. The music in this one, how is that? It's fine. It's also fine. It's a mediocre game. I mean, the music actually complements the stages you're in, but there's no standout tracks. But at least it's not just background noise in the same way the music is in Heroes. And the sound effects aren't so bad that I want to die. There is one glaring issue, though. Every time you lose, you're forced to watch a cutscene of the enemy committing war crimes. This is not a joke. They walk into a town and light fire to buildings. The Rakshi or the Borak kill innocents. And you cannot, I repeat, cannot skip them. You are forced to watch this every single time you lose. So, that fire racing level I mentioned earlier, every time you die or the Rakshi beats you, you are forced to watch a cutscene of the Rakshi lighting a town on fire. It's pretty messed up. But you know what that means? There's actually a story here. Albeit it's a shallow story, but it's a story. There's actually conversation between the Toa and other characters, and characters actually go through changes. The little Matoran becomes the Toa of Light. It's not a lot, but at least it adds some stakes, unlike Heroes. Now let's compare both of the games. Battle of the Century. Who's gonna win? Bionicle, Heroes. We'll do points. Let's see who wins. First round. Gameplay. Fight. Both of them are extremely repetitive. However, Bionicle has slightly more variation, and I can at least see what's happening in the frame most times. So it goes to Bionicle, but it's fun to play. It's fun enough to play. The music and the sound. Fight. You literally cannot hear the music in Heroes sometimes. Bionicle again. You can hear things. How about the issues, which has less problems? The camera control issues of Heroes are just too much to glance over, and since Bionicle only really gets annoying in the race sections and with murderous cutscenes, Bionicle wins again. And this one seems pointless, but how about the story? You made it this far in the video. It's obvious. It's Bionicle. This game is garbage. It sucks. This one's okay. Come on. Bar's law. Bar's on the ground. So, if you want to play a Bionicle game, I'd recommend Bionicle. Don't get this one. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. This is the one you want to get. But if you really want to have fun with Bionicles, read the comics, buy a kit, do something other than the games. Ultimately, you do you. Just whatever you don't play Bionicle Heroes. With that, it's KRUNCHO, and don't forget to read the manual. Peace. Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. If you haven't, hit the bell if you want to get notifications when I post a new video. Follow me on social media. All the links are in the description below. Yeah, that's a song. Thanks for coming. You can watch another one of my videos here, maybe. Yeah, you can. Here. Thanks. It smells delicious. Watch it. Okay. It's good. Tasty. Tasty one. It's a good video. Is this gonna get included? Who knows? Okay. Goodbye.